That should be our very first automated assembly line. Look at that. I think it looks pretty cool, doesn't it? I'm not quite sure. Oh, that's an employee glitching through right there. I was like, I'm not quite sure what this thing right here is, but that's Felicity just nicely integrated into the machine. Alright everybody, hello and welcome back to another episode of Good Company Freeplay with me, Spacefish. Now nearing 2 million bucks in the bank. Very, very nice. As you'll remember, maybe, potentially, hopefully, in the last episode, we took care of massively increasing our research capabilities as we had finally outsourced this part right here, and then subsequently, quite a bunch increased actually our amount of research tables and analysis desks. Now, there are still some problems remaining. As you can see right here, we are still very much lacking plastics, and that's because, well, this core pallet just doesn't really quite have enough plastic stacked onto it for us, so I'm gonna kind of try and source plastic from other regions too. Now, a bit of an issue right here that I'm still not quite sure about why that's actually the case is that on this courier pallet, which is the input of course for this huge pocket PC production that we've got going on right here, we've got 5 like boxes of plastic basically in the buy orders, but we only really have 3 pieces of plastic reaching us because there's like no more logistic stuff going on right here. So I don't know, this is a bit weird because as you can see right here, we cannot increase this for whatever reason. I can't really tell what is the issue there. I mean, if I go down to 3 right here, does that open up some more slots for us? No. So why are my other slots blocked? I'm not quite sure what's going on here, right? That doesn't make much of any sense, does it? Because if you look right here, I mean, I don't know. There's empty slots, but I cannot use them for the life of me, and I don't quite understand why that is the case. But what we will do, I think, is we will set up another courier connection. I'm just thinking I'll probably just get a new courier pallet just exclusively for this area up here, because I don't know, like right now it just doesn't really all quite work out how I wanted it to. I'm also considering, I think I'll just reroute this courier, to be honest, because like if we have a separate exclusive pallet where we can get all the in materials, we can just ignore this one down here and make sure we don't like deprive this whole production line of any much needed production assets. So what we'll do instead here is we'll add plastic and chemicals. I think that's all we need for not single cell batteries, but the simple battery stacks. Yes, indeed, that is everything we need. I'm just gonna make like a massive stack of this stuff, and then we're just gonna redo the courier route and tell the courier to just pick up everything from that pallet should he need to. So this one right here seems to be the pallet we do want to delete, so we will do that. We will add this one, of course. That will go to the very start like that, right? So that's at 21. Then he goes to 20, which is where we need the stuff for the production, and he puts the stuff into 2 that has been produced. Perfect. So now output max will get this to 100, because of course we do need to grab every single bit of plastic and chemical that we do need. And well, I mean, this being at 100 makes a lot of sense too. Input max 100 right there. Cool. That should be that fixed. Now whenever we hopefully get a quick delivery right here. We just had a buy order delivery and nothing was delivered. We just had a buy order delivery and nothing was delivered. What in the world? Why? Why does this not work now? Can somebody explain this to me? I feel something major must be broken in this game right now. Why is my buy order not delivering any materials? I mean, this is a buy order, right? It is not a buy order, it's a logistics only. Oh my god. Okay, yep, right, that's the issue. I added it as a logistics only thing as opposed to buy order, so that's why we didn't have any mats. Now we do. And now everything is fine and dandy and great, and I'm happy. Now we're at 27k of profit only, which is very alarming because that's half the profit from last market phase. I only sold... What? How did I only sell 9 calculators? I'm so confused. Why did I only sell 13 pocket computers? Why did everything just lower? What just happened? What just imploded? I'm not sure. Like, how in the world did that just happen? I'm so confused. Let's just move on to the next phase, I guess, and see if the issue persists, because I can't see any bottlenecks down here. Nobody waiting for stuff or anything. Like, that doesn't make sense. Huh. I mean, look at this, like, we've already got 7 calculators in here, like, half the market phase to go, so... I would certainly hope that that's going to fix itself, but... certainly very weird and concerning, I'll have to say. Now, that said, I mean, the shelving rack is filling up, so whenever somebody goes and picks that up, we should be somewhat fine, or not, if, yeah, people only do that after the market phase happens. Very weird, but we are going the proper way again. Now, what just popped up here as a message? I'm not quite sure. We do have all these metal processing machines and everything that I do actually want to start getting integrated into our production line, ideally this episode, so I would like to look into that, but I don't know. Very weird stuff. I mean, we also will have to redesign a bit, I think, because, like, the simple circuits we'll probably do on our own then here with, like, machinery. And these things will need to move up to here where the simple circuits are at. So that's going to have to require a bit of redesigning. But now our profit went somewhat back up. Not really quite as much as I wanted to. On the other hand side, I don't know. What's the fluctuations in production at the moment? It's very weird. I mean, the cassette players, maybe I did deprive this accidentally of some mats for making these. That's kind of my idea. But well... okay, anyways, now we've got a big stack out here of plastics and chemicals and everything, so our production right here should be overall fine, and I do know what that pop-up was. It was a research project finishing. Now, what we did finish, I think it was probably some sort of casing, wasn't it? Let's check that out. I think we just finished the windowed case, probably. And as I said in the last episode, I would actually like to research all the basic cases now, so we do have those covered. So we're going to continue with the reinforced case. I'm also considering to move this whole thing all the way up here, to be honest, to just up our research capabilities even more, but I'm not too sure about that yet. Also... this is a bit of an issue with me not really doing much of anything right here. I'll pick up some of these maybe, maybe not. I feel my tune is a bit useless right now. We're just gonna go over to the research desk, I think, if we can, and just gonna do some research here. Just gonna help out a bit with that, and well, that's about that. Now, everything else should be somewhat running. I hope that the profits will overall catch back up. I think the next important question is, how do we do all this stuff right here? Because that's going to be a good bit of a redesign, and I can probably not really move these, like this shelf and everything, over to here, because that would probably end up with me having some weird buggeroo going on and the whole thing exploding on me. I think for a start, I'm going to go and grab this logistics zone, and I'm just going to extend it all the way out, so we have one logistics zone in this building. And we're going to move this conveyor stuff all the way to the outside, so I've got some space to work with for a start. Because what we do, of course, now need is going to be some machinery that we can attach to this conveyor belt. And I'm basically gonna try and set up the machinery in advance now, so that in the end, all we need to do is just connect up the conveyor belt, and then the thing is rolling, and I don't have to worry about it anymore. Because I would like to have some pre-produced stuff and everything right here, because that conveyor belt has to fill, so I don't have like a 5 bajillion years interruption of production, if that makes sense. So what we want to do out here, So we want to pick up machines, and we want to use 2 pick and place machines, right? 1 for the circuit boards, and then we're going to use 1 for the simple circuits, and then we've got some nice stuff going on for our calculators. And the best part is we can even upgrade it to logic circuits or programmable circuits later on when we need more processing power in those calculators. And on top of that, I think we'll probably have a good bit of overhang in terms of production capacity, because these things do produce quite mad amounts pretty fast. So maybe we can just... I'm not sure if there's something like a conveyor splitter that you would be used to in Satisfactory. I don't think so, unfortunately. So, well, I mean, that's not too much of an option, but maybe we can eventually just have like a storage segment that stores it into a shelf, and then we have a logistics employee that splits it across 2 conveyor belts. Then we have 1 set going out here to calculator production and another set going out here to robot production or something like that. That said, doesn't really look like we need any processing power right there, so, well, maybe somewhere else where we can use it. We'll find out. We'll find out. For the time being, let's start setting this up. I would really like to actually place it right here, to be honest. I don't really fancy putting it all the way over there, so I think what we're going to do is we're just going to move the tables and the shelf of these people over here. I mean, it doesn't really change much of anything for them in terms of working, and the logistics employee is going to move the stuff over, so that should be fine. Also, probably going to have to change what we are ordering here to make sure that we've got all the stuff covered. So let's have a quick look into that. Circuit boards, we do actually have all the things needed. Oh, and we do have electronics, so we don't need anything else, I don't think. In that case, I will just go and put a pick and place machine right here. We will, well, basically, I don't want to block the door. I really don't want to block the door. That's my only way into there right now. I guess what I can do is this. Not quite, really. Annoying. I guess what I can do for the time being is something like that, right? We're just gonna have these stand in the middle of the room, and, well, I mean, that'll be our door eventually. Because what I do now want to do, basically, and I don't have any conveyor belt stuff, but I can grab that real quick. What I do want to do now is I would like to have a small shelving rack, basically, right here. And, oh, I think I need a conveyor in between those, don't I? Well, I guess I can move this? How much space do I need in here? Let's just put another pick and place machine, right? Because the second pick and place machine can basically, if I can find it, right here. Second pick and place machine can basically just deliver straight onto the conveyor. But yeah, I mean, we will need a curve here. And while I think the good company devs were working on a change where you can just, like, have a curve in one straight tile instead of having to have another piece of conveyor right here, I don't think that's a thing yet, or at least not on 0.7 of good company. So we're gonna keep it like this. We are gonna go, I can't see really, it's a bit of an issue. Does that not work either? I don't like this. Maybe I'm making this too cramped. I don't want to overdo it in terms of that. Maybe we should actually move this back around. And what I'm going to do is this, and we're just going to do this on the other side, but that doesn't actually work because that messes up the input directions of the pick and place machines. Very annoying right now. I wish there was a way to change the input directions of these. Is there? Let's just double check. Not really. Not really. So that's a bit of an issue. Because, like, this is kind of a good way to attach. I guess what we can do is have something like this going on, right? Where basically we would have... No, not quite. More like that. So basically we would have a conveyor belt going in like that. And, yeah. Perfect. And then we would have another conveyor belt going in from here to there. And, well, then we have like this conveyor belt connecting up in the end, which of course we don't really quite want to do just yet. Now, what we will need to do, though, is we will need to have an automatic retrieval segment that puts these things onto the conveyor belt, basically, that we have in the small shelving rack. Then we will, of course, have our first pick-and-place machine, which is going to do circuit boards, and that will require metal and plastic, of course. And, well, then we will have the simple circuits out here being made with circuit boards, which come from this pick-and-place machine, and electronic parts. Now, that's always kind of quite the question, I'll have to say. Because, you know, I cannot automatically put the electronic parts into this machine, I don't think. Because I would need to have another one of these automatic retrieval segments. Kind of picks them up and puts them onto a conveyor belt. Because this is not a conveyor belt entrance thing. So, I basically think I'll have to have an actual employee put the electronic parts into here, basically. So, we'll try this. We'll put plastic and metal... Wait, how did that happen? There is no auto logistics out here. How did... Oh, because it's all on the... Ah, I see. Okay. I mean, can we get rid of it? Why does this even have to block that? I mean, yeah, sure, it's kind of... Oh, God. Okay. Anyway, so... The idea would be that we have metal and plastic coming in right here. And phone ringing then right down below. And the automatic retrieval segment kind of picks that up, puts it onto the conveyor, goes into there. That should auto-produce, I hope. I really hope that this doesn't have, like, any mix-up with the employee putting more metal or more plastic into it. And then that ultimately kind of messing up the amounts of stuff on the conveyor. If that happens, we'll have to keep this to one single kind of material, and we'll have to put the other kind of material in there manually, but I hope we won't. And then this stuff basically needs to go in there manually. My means of logistics employee, basically. And that should be that. That should be our very first automated assembly line. Look at that. I think it looks pretty cool, doesn't it? I'm not quite sure. Oh, that's an employee glitching through right there. I was like, I'm not quite sure what this thing right here is, but that's Felicity just nicely integrated into the machine. I hope she still makes it out. She does indeed. But, well, can we... Hello? Why can I not just... Huh. Okay, that was confusing. It also always pops back into fast forward. But there we go. Our research project is done, by the way. So let's quickly go and take care of that before we observe our first steps in automated production. I don't quite know what I want to do next, to be honest. I mean, we could do more advanced bot chassis, but I think let's do stereo speakers first. It probably does make a bunch of sense. We also, well, I mean, microcontroller, programmable circuits. I think this is all very much done by our automated machinery, so it's kind of nice to have. This doesn't work at all, which is not a great start. I probably need to set up a rule here, don't I? Add new? No. Plastic. Add new. Metal. Okay, so you put one stack of that on there, one stack of that on there? Is that how it works? Oh, okay, very nice. Now, yeah, that's an issue. Okay, well, we will have to slightly change that because it's going to have to be 10 basically. But that's nice, because that, I think, means that I can do just what I needed this to do, which is basically, well, grabbing 10 plastic first, then grabbing 10 metal, then grabbing 10 plastic. So, like, doing it sequentially so this doesn't clog up the pick-and-place machine. Except that I already managed to clog it up, but I'm sure I can fix that real quick. We're just going to grab this ourselves and put this back in here. And I would really like to get rid of this thing here, by the way, but I really can't because it's kind of attached to the whole inventory. So that's very annoying. Did you just put 40 on there again? I said 10. Why'd you put 40 on there? That's very weird. Now we put 10 on there. How many is that? Oh, that's 10. Thank you. Okay, now, is he doing it properly now? Yes. Oh, that's great. Look at that. Oh, look at that. That's working just fine. Super smooth. Super nice. Really like it. I mean, it is, of course, clogged up, and that's because the pick-and-place machine is working away at it. We already have other electronic parts in here because the logistics employee took care of it. And now, we've got our first set of circuit boards printing, and you can see right here, we're printing 25 flipping circuit boards at a time, which, you know, is happening at a rather slow pace, of only one set every 1 day. But at the same time, you would only get 5 out of the chemistry table in 0.6 days, so it's way, way faster in terms of circuit board production, just because of the sheer amount it chucks out, and at the same time, we don't have any expenses for logistics employees. So this stuff is really, really awesome. Let me just snap back up to my own avatar up here so we can kind of get this stuff back up and rolling, but I am really, really happy with that. And you can see, I mean, we're chucking out 5 simple circuits at a time here, also just at the 1-day frequency, but overall still way, way faster than a single electronics workbench, which can only do 1 every 0.6 days, and I just accidentally picked that up. But I think you can kind of see where I'm going with this, right? We're making way more simple circuits than these guys can make up here, which is absolutely flipping awesome. Now the real main task is moving this stuff over to there and getting rid of that at the same time, and also connecting the conveyor belts at the same time without messing up this whole chain. So yeah, I think that's going to be a bit of a task. I'm not quite sure how I want to do it just yet. I think I want to connect the conveyor belt right now, probably. Well, if I can. Can we? No. I just want to get rid of this small segment right here. Can we do that somehow? I'm not quite sure how I just... Hello? What's happening now? Okay. Can we? Please? Why? No. I just want to get rid of this segment, please. Someone help me. There we go. Thank you very much. Okay, so we will redesign this part of the conveyor belt, basically, so we can already have... hello? Stop. 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 Thank you. So we can already have some simple circuits rolling out onto this stuff. And we will basically also go in here. And yeah, now the out for the small register banks is already gone. Now you can see, I mean, we've got a huge load of small register bank pieces still on here, which is fine, because that way we can still make simple circuits up here, which I think I'll keep that going for a minute till we have some backlog stacked up on this conveyor belt. And then once that's happened, we'll just kind of get rid of this, fire these employees. Sorry for that, employees. I'm really sorry. Automation is replacing you. And then we'll take care of the rest. Now, I can't turn the camera in this game, which, you know, at first I really didn't dislike, but now that I have got this machinery in the way in the conveyor belts, I would really like to see if there's something on the conveyor belt or not. But there seems to be something on there. And yeah, now it's kind of all clogged up. So I think it's time to move things over. I hope. We can probably just move a few simple circuits manually for a start if we need to. But let's grab these guys. Let's fire these 2 employees. I'm sorry. You're gonna... Yeah, sorry. You're just unprofitable. What do I tell you? We're gonna get rid of these 2 tables. We are gonna grab these 2 while we're at it, because honestly, why not? We're just gonna empty out this shelf, to be honest. And we are going to deconstruct the shelf, and then we're going to move this table over. Now, first things first, before I do that, I'm going to delete all these logistics connections, because we all do know, right, that I really nicely managed to break the stuff the last time. So we're going to go and delete all the logistics connections. We're going to move the tables over into the other zone. And then we are going to go and get a new shelf and reinstate all the connections. It's kind of going to hopefully be the best way of going about this without breaking the entire game again. So, fingers crossed right there. Putting that shelf down, we are going to go and... oh, I cannot really deconstruct this at the moment, can I? Well, we're going to take care of that at a later point. For the time being, we're going to need metal and we are going to need electronics, which we can both grab from here, I think. So let's do that. We're going to up the bandwidth a bit right here. And we're just going to go and connect things in and out like that. Up the small register bandwidth to 40. And then we're going to have some logistics employees move it over into this shelving rack right here. Now, the simple circuits, of course, currently not connected. But we will certainly take care of that very soon. I've also got a huge load of circuit boards I don't really quite need. I don't think I can research these, can I? God. It's going to have to be a bit of a struggle of splitting these out into, well, into places. I don't know what to do with that at the moment. I mean, I can research stuff like the register banks and everything, so that's at least something. And we probably should, because there's a lot of register banks on this roller band that I probably need to get rid of. Mechanical parts, I'm just going to have to see how I can split this stuff out into, like, where I can get rid of it real quick. I'll take care of that, and I'll be right back with you. Alright, and back I am. As you can see, my inventory is now a bit less full of me splitting out all the stuff. Now, I've actually just found another huge potential spot, of course, for automating all these things, because we've got our Pocket PC production running up here where we can automate these things. We can automate the simple circuits. We can also automate the programmable circuits. And I think we can also automate logic circuits, so... in theory, we could replace, like, all this stuff, getting rid of the costs for 8 employees, and making more of it, which, honestly, I just actually found that these 2 ladies down here were running out of the, whatever it was called, circuit boards. So, you know, potential for improvement, maybe, question mark? Gotta probably look at that. But with that said... now, with my inventory being a bit more empty, I think I need to empty out this roller band storage right here so we can hopefully get some simple circuits actually flowing in. And there go the first ones. I think those should be all ready to be picked up by the logistics employees, which should be awesome. And I'm just going to throw a few more of these things at it. Now I've got a huge inventory again, which I can spend 15 bajillion years using these parts for research. So, you know, that's going to keep me busy for a while, I'm pretty sure. Let me just stop this here. Let me get my guy over again to the other table with my little meep just coming with me. And we're going to go and grab... well, let's start with the small register banks. We've got a ton of them. 103 to be precise. So, you know, it's going to keep me busy for a while. I'm going to be busy up here researching and, well, I think we can do some more automation in the next episode. I really like this one so far. Certainly saved a bunch of money there, making a lot more of the stuff now than I used to, I'm also pretty sure. So that is certainly very nice. I do need to actually add this logistics connection before I forget about it, just so we do make sure that this stuff keeps flowing in. And, well, then everything should be running nicely and smoothly and very automated at a lot less of a cost to us. So very happy with that. I hope you liked this episode. I hope you enjoyed our first bits of automation. If you did, as always, please make sure to hit that like button down below. That does help out a ton. And if you're new around here and haven't done so just yet, also please consider hitting that subscribe button right down below, as well as that bell icon right next to stay up to date on all the future upcoming episodes. And with that all out of the way, as always, thanks a lot for watching, and I hope I'll catch you in the next one. Ciao.